See, this is right. Hi hotties, let's have a chat. I personally love watching long form content. I find it to be my favourite form. I can scroll TikTok for hours, but I get the most value out of just sitting and listening to a podcast or a yapping video, like a 20-minute long YouTube video about someone who encompassed the Tati Westbrook, James Charles drama, that sort of thing. Like, I love it. So I thought if this is interest to anyone, would sit here and yap to you, if you'll have me. And Daphne too, obviously. She's usually not allowed on the bed because she sheds and her black hairs get everywhere. But, like, how could I say no to that? Like, she's obviously loving the sun so much. I just have to let it happen. Anyway, I just finished reading. I nearly said watching. That's so intense. I always do that, and that's what worries me. Yeah, why do I always say I've watched a book? Is that what I've come to? Anyway, I've read Carrie by Stephen King. I told this story on my TikTok, but I have to tell it here because it's really funny. My housemate Willow knows, oh my God, also with that, I always call her my housemate. She is my friend. She's one of my best friends, but I always call her my housemate because in my head, like, she's my first ever housemate. So in my head, like, that's so much more impressive and cool and, like, really shows how close we are. But no, saying friend, I think, holds more weight. Anyway, she knew that I love Stephen King. And she was like, oh, it must be really good. Like, Chessie's obsessed with him. So she was going on a holiday with her family and she was at the airport. She had indulged in what you could call mummy's little helper. You know, just a 3 p.m. rich mum with a glass of Riesling just before the kids come home from school, just to help her get through the day. She had a belly. And she walked into the bookstore in the airport. I would argue she took her Valium too early, actually, before the flight, whatever. She walked into the bookstore, picks up a Stephen King book, buys it, walks out, starts reading it on the plane, going, Chessie's a genius. Chessie's an actual genius. How does she like understand this? I cannot comprehend a single thing that's being said. She was in fact reading a Stephen Hawking book. Yeah, Stephen Hawking, an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author. Do you remember him? Yeah. She was trying to read a book about theoretical physics, thinking that that's what I did in my free time. So she's doped out on sleeping pills, trying to read a Stephen Hawking book. That's crazy. That's insane. Hilarious story. It's my favourite. The other day she went on a weekend away and Annika and I snuck the Stephen Hawking book into her bag. And then when she got to the house, she was FaceTiming us going, who did this? I love it. It's my favourite thing. Can you imagine trying to read a Stephen Hawking book? Oh, God. I saw the new Bob Dylan movie last night. Something about music will always make me cry. I was sobbing in that movie like when I saw Wicked, sobbing the entire time. I just think that people singing is a level of emotional demonstration that is unmatched. I don't think you can really give someone an insight into your inner soul like when you're truly singing with talent and emotion. So yeah, the Bob Dylan movie was moving as fuck. Apparently Timothy Chalamet wasn't going to sing originally, I believe, and then with the SAG strikes, he ended up having enough time to learn how to sing and play the guitar confidently enough to actually sing in the film, which I think is insanely impressive. He sounds so much like Bob Dylan, sounds so good on stage, and I was like so shocked. What I didn't love was how much 2 women in his life impacted his career to such a degree. One being his first partner and the second being the woman he cheated on his first partner with. The first woman really radicalized him and taught him about the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King and all of the core, not strikes, the protests that were going on during that time. And she really taught him about the world and opened his eyes to that. And that was a lot of what his songwriting was about. The second woman who he cheated on the first woman with, she was a famous folk singer at the time. And she really supported him and sung one of his songs, gave that more, awareness, I guess. So that did help his career. Don't get me wrong, I think he still would have been famous without these women. He is a genuinely talented person. It just kind of frustrated me how these women had such an impact on his life. And he cheated on one, and then the other one really just treated just did not treat her with the respect she deserved. Just came over, slept in her hotel room, and then just used her as a place to stay effectively, not respecting her, no interest in her or her life. I need to delete this tab. I just don't need Stephen Hawking sitting there. It's quite distracting. Anyway, that was my impression of the Bob Dylan movie. And then that did make me think about how when you are cursed with you've struck down with the curse that is heterosexuality, you do have to date men. And you get fucked over so much, so badly. I got out of a 5-year relationship, and let me tell you, nothing will rock your shit like the first guy you date after a 5-year relationship. What? If by some random way you're watching this and you think this is about you, it's not. Trust me. I'll continue. The security you feel when in a long-term relationship, especially one that starts at 17, for my example, but just starts relatively young, so your first real dating experience, the security you feel in that is you end up becoming equals in a partnership, and they see you for your whole self and see you for who you truly are, and you feel confident and able to be yourself and say whatever you want, and they'll still love you. Right? That gets stuck in your head, and then you accidentally make the mistake of thinking that all men are like that, and that you can have that mutual respect and understanding with any man. Girlie, sit the fuck down, honestly. This man does not care if you live or die. Okay? The dating scene is disgusting. I'm currently in a very happy relationship, but my housemate and a lot of my girlfriends are single. Boys, if you're looking for a girlfriend, by the way, please go to my Instagram. Please look at the tagged photo with Willow Fowler in it and give her a DM. Thank you. Anyway, that's my playing Cupid for the day. I just think that the dating scene is messed up. The way people... I'm not saying it's all the men's fault, but just for argument's sake, can we talk about how the lack of communication, just be honest with each other. Why are we not being honest? The ghosting level is abhorrent. I got ghosted by someone one time and then booty called by that same person. And I did the best thing, which is never replied to any of it, which is great because he booty called me in the night and then the next morning sent me another message being so sorry about that. And then I never replied. And then he sent something again one time, I think, and I never replied. The best punishment you can give for a man is not caring. That is the only thing that actually cuts through their ego. If you think that sending him a 250-word essay paragraph over text, look, if that gives you closure, all power to you, but I'm telling you, the only thing that they actually care about, I bet these men don't even read the paragraphs we send them. The only thing they will care about is if you don't care. it drives them a bit bonkers. That's just my tidbit for the day. Honestly, I'm telling you, it's like serious. Let's talk about love languages and loving yourself first. I saw this amazing TikTok. I'm going to try and find it and put it in the description because it's so, so incredible. And it was this person talking about how understanding your own receiving love languages, because I think a lot of people focus on their love language being what they give to a partner or a person or a friend, but I haven't focused enough on understanding what my receiving love languages are, because that's really important. Then you can communicate them to your partner, make sure they understand how to love you properly. But what this TikTok was talking about is how your receiving love languages can actually be enacted by you. If your love language is gift giving, go buy yourself a coffee. Go get your nails done. Go get yourself a new lip oil. If your love language is acts of service, change your sheets. Make yourself a yummy brekkie and eat it in bed while watching a show. What else could you do? Do yoga. Physical touch, actually. They said do yoga if it's physical touch. Do a face mask. Have a nice, long everything shower. I really hope I can find it so I can link it below, because there would be different love languages and different recommendations for each. And the TikTok finished by saying the love you have for others is already within you. Meaning, if you have enough love within yourself, well, not meaning, this is how I interpreted it. If you have enough love within yourself to love someone else, you can turn that back around to yourself and love yourself for that. In the same way, did you know that the things you love about the people you surround yourself with are actually what you love about yourself? Did you know that? I didn't know this. If I were to describe my boyfriend, I would say smart, kind, funny, attractive. And that's genuinely, not to toot my own horn, those are things I respect and love about myself. So by understanding that, you're able to appreciate yourself more. And I think in general, that's just really helped me with just general anxiety issues. I have a lot of issues historically with a need to be liked and a need to be accepted. And I think that also really sort of manifested in a lack of communication or boundary setting. It still does to this day. I struggle to tell people when I'm disappointed or hurt or something, but I am getting better at it, but it's just really difficult. But what I'm saying is understanding what I love and respect about myself, and that sort of development of self-love is what is integral to breaking down these need to be liked and people-pleasing tendencies. Because if you love yourself enough and you have enough confidence in yourself, then it doesn't matter if you're not as anxious about everyone else loving you. Obviously, you still want to be respectful and you don't want to be but if you love yourself and you're a good person, which you are, you're not going to be an absolute dickhead. Okay, my freaking camera died, which is just the universe saying, girly, shush up. And I just went on TikTok and watched hopecore videos for so long, shed a bit of a tear, and now it's got me in a weird mood. I'm just sitting here going, oh, female friendships are just the most beautiful thing. They really are, though. I feel like it seems like we get dramatic with it, but seriously, it is a beautiful thing. I'm so lucky enough to have a few really, really high quality, deep, profound, beautiful female friendships. And where there's many, many benefits to these friendships, I think the one that's the most significant for me has been the way it sets such a healthy baseline for how you should be treated by anyone, by other friends or future partners. The way my best female friends treat me and approach me is just unmatched beautiful. They keep me in check. They care about me. They defend me. They stand up for me. They trust me. They love me. And it's an incredible feeling, and it allows me to, when I have difficult situations with other friends, to stop and think, well, would ex-friend treat me like this? No. What would she say or do in this situation? And like, maybe that's unfair to be comparing people in that way, but at the end of the day, these real strong female friendships are what allows me to have some sort of objectivity when it comes to difficult situations. I can go, no, because my friends I've had for years and years and are true and real and I know would treat me right, they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't be acting. It's the way they know me, I think, is the real thing. Is like they know my best intentions. So there's just never any unnecessary conflict because they understand and know. And that's, oh my God, it's just so lovely. I also, on that, really appreciate about my friends is that they keep me in check. I would never want to be someone who's surrounded by yes people. And I think that to an extent, that would be easy for something like that would be an easy thing to happen to me because I am quite strong-willed, and I've been told in the past that I can be like intimidating, or people don't want to tell me the truth because I'm very like stern about my opinions. But every close friend I have has, within the last 6 months at some point, pulled me up and said, babe, hey babe, whether it be like subtly, or not subtly, but like on a small thing or a larger scale where there's a conversation that's needed. I really appreciate that because that's how you grow. We should all be keeping each other in check. I think that's just an incredible thing. Oh my gosh, I thought it said battery low. I was going to die. I want to finish off by listing my 3 favourite things at the moment. Do I have any of them prepared? No. Let's see where this goes. Oh, I already have one. On Spotify, there's a playlist called Marcus in Copenhagen. I've been trying recently to do less TikTok time and less constantly consuming some sort of content. So whenever I shower, I'll even chuck on a YouTube video. I fall asleep to a Netflix show. I cook to a podcast. Like, it is ridiculous. If I'm going for a wee, I will obviously be watching TikToks. I want to lessen that, and the way I've been doing that is by listening to more music. I struggle with lyric music in that I only like listening to lyric music most of the time when it is a song I know. But this Marcus in Copenhagen playlist, I'll link it in the description. It is from the show The Bear, when the character Marcus goes to Copenhagen. And it's just really beautiful, really chill, very like cooking in the kitchen vibes in a little sundress, and you're just like, ooh, I'm making a focaccia. That's the vibes, and I love it, and it's so good. Brittany Broski talked about, I think it's just called Aperol Spritz, the playlist. I did listen to that for a while, but Marcus in Copenhagen is very much more, it's less on the nose on that like Euro summer front. Do you know what I mean? Second favourite thing at the moment, taking my iron supplements in liquid form. I've found I'm just not a pill girly. I'm a little drink girly. I like making a little concoction, a little cocktail, and so you can get liquid sachets of iron supplements. So that's been really, really fun. Love that. My third and final favourite thing. I'm currently in the middle of reading. I mean, it's only appropriate. We started talking about Stephen King. Let's go full circle and talk about Stephen King again. I'm in the middle of reading Pet Sematary from him. Really, really, I just love every book he writes. I'm yet to read a Stephen King book I don't love. I didn't love... Is it really dark? Oh no, is it really dark? Anyway, I didn't froth You Like It Darker. I mean, I liked it, but it's just a bunch of short stories and I prefer like a full narrative the entire way through. But yes, Pet Sematary is going to be my third favourite thing. So far, loving it. just the way he writes is so satisfying. Highly recommend Carrie as well. I've written of his, and Mr. Mercedes is my all-time favourite book from him. Mr. Mercedes reminds me of when you're watching an episode of Criminal Minds and they have to catch the criminal before they do their next big one. So it's really like high intensity, you're on the edge of your seat, one of those ones where you'll stay up late reading it. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you if you got this far through. If you didn't, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. They'll never know I said that. They'll never know. And I will see you again soon. One day. I don't know when, but love you, hotties. Bye.